Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the next episode of the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is episode 7 of the Global Force Wrestling brand. Right, so let's have a quick look at the card we have for you tonight. We have another treat installed. We have a Tag Team Championship match. This is actually a rematch. The Young Bucks lost the belts at the Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view a few weeks back, and this is the chance to get it back as they face off against Justin Gabriel and Angelico, the South African Pride. We will see Loki, who's on a bit of a run at the moment. He will be taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi, the former Global Force Wrestling champion. We will also see Finn Balor, who's in a bit of a feud at the moment with AJ Styles. Balor will be taking on Machine Gun Karl Anderson, as Styles will be at ringside. In match 4, we will see Johnny Mundo take on Hideo Itami. And in our main event, I don't know if you saw, I'm hoping you saw the last episode, but I doubt most people did. If you did, you would have seen Zack Sabre Jr. make his debut for Global Force Wrestling and picked up a very easy victory, really. And after the match, he was attacked by the current Global Force Wrestling champion, Kazuchika Okada. So tonight is a chance for Zack Sabre Jr. to get his own back. So without further ado, let's get into our first match of the evening. And we are underway. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally get this match underway. The first match of the card, and the game has already crashed on me 3 times. So, yep, we're here. Finally, so this is the Tag Team Championship match. Young Bucks trying to get their belts back from South African Pride. If you saw the last episode, you see that Young Bucks did pick up a victory last week against the Lucha Dragons of Kalisto and Mystico. So, yep. This week they're hoping to build on that momentum by regaining their tag team championships. At ringside you will see pacing back and forth, that is Kenny Omega, the current junior heavyweight champion. Obviously it's not very often that oh, and right on cue, here is Kenny Omega up on the apron, distracting the referee as Matt Jackson comes into the ring. It's not very often we see matches in this universe mode for Bullet Club members where they're not backed up by other members. And just to go off topic, I would love to see on the next WWE game, I would love to see the limit of faction members lifted from 5. Because if you're recreating a faction such as Bullet Club, it's so difficult. Obviously, at the moment I've just got AJ Styles, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. I mean, that's it at the moment. Locked into the one stable, and then I've got a separate stable set up with Machine Gun Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows as a separate tag team. I would love to be able to have more control. I've been thinking about this as well with feuds. Instead of feuding, say, the Young Bucks against another tag team, for example, I would love to be able to feud Bullet Club against, and then have a separate faction for them to be against. And even if the numbers are against them, you could have a faction of 7 versus a faction of 4. But I think that would make it a lot more interesting, because it uses up a lot of feuds. Because I'd love to have, at the moment, if you want to say, if you had like a WCW brand and you had NWO and you had Wolfpack and you were trying to feud them, you'd have to individually pair off all the members from each group into different feuds, and obviously you only get 3 slots of feuds in the universe mode. It'd be great just to be able to put them against them, and then the computer just be able to be a bit more intelligent and match it all up. See Angelico there just removing the top turnbuckle pad from that corner. But yeah, sorry, that's the end of my my rant for this one. I think it's a valid point though. I'd love to see something like that just to make it a bit more interesting, as I believe, yes, Matt Jackson has just caused Justin Gabriel to tap out to the camel clutch submission hold. He has. There's the camel clutch locked in. Angelico was tied up with Nick Jackson on the outside. And Justin Gabriel has tapped, which means the Young Bucks have regained their tag team championships. Sorry, I was talking a lot of crap there during that match, but Bullet Club have regained them belts, and I'm very happy because I think going into a real world now, the Young Bucks are, in my eyes, probably if not the best tag team in the world, and definitely one of. They're absolutely fantastic team. The quality of both guys individually is enough to get them far, but as a team, they're just absolutely fantastic. They've got such a charisma about them, and they get over anywhere. So now we move into match number 2 of the evening. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Loki. And here we go, Tanahashi versus Loki, and Loki starts off just by kicking the head off of Tanahashi. Like I said earlier, Loki has been on a great run of form recently. He's picked up a few victories. I think he, a couple of weeks ago, he actually won a fatal 4-way elimination match where he pinned the other in-4 member of the roster, Pentagon Jr. Last week, he then went on to face Pentagon Jr. in a singles match. And after a lot of distraction by King Cuerno, Loki finally came out on top of that match, and now he's hoping to take that momentum into this one and defeat the former Global Force Wrestling champion. And so far, Loki is dominating this match. And again, another kick to the back of the head. I think Tanahashi's going to walk out of this one with concussion. That's if he walks out of it at all. There's more just continued boots to the head. I think Loki is definitely starting to put himself out there. Definitely looking at Junior Heavyweight Championship maybe. Kenny Omega hasn't really defended that belt since the Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view. I know that's only been would that have been 2 or 3 weeks ago? Our next pay-per-view is not for another 5 weeks or so, I believe. So I think that's Global Disaster, I believe. I'm saying I believe it quite, aren't I? Yeah. But either way, I think that belt may have to be defended before the pay-per-view, just to... we can't go 2 months without a defense, so definitely. And I think Loki may have actually just won that match with then more kicks. Oh, Tanahashi kicking out. If there is anybody on the roster you would like to see get a title shot or even just a push, then if you let me know, then I'll be absolutely more than happy to integrate as many I can into the universe mode. Just line them up and I'll knock them down for you. I've said in one of my previous videos, I'm going to try and upload a bit more consistently now. I've been doing, well, my game recorder broke for a while, so I've had to buy a new one. But even before then, I was recording about sort of 10 episodes over a weekend, and I was trying to upload them all over the weekend as well. So I think at the moment, as Key gets him up for the Key Crusher, drops him down hard, that's got to be all. He's going to pull him into the middle of the ring, go for the pin. Here he goes. 1, 2, 3, and that is all. Loki picks up another important victory here. Yeah, as I was just saying, I'm going to try and... well, the universe mode is set in today, so I'm hoping to try and upload at least 1 video per day, which corresponds to that day in the universe mode, if that makes sense. So Global Force Wrestling is a brand which is set in Tuesdays in the universe mode. Therefore, I will try and upload at least 1 Global Force Wrestling episode every Tuesday. Wednesday is Ring of Honor, Thursday is Retro, Friday Attitude, and so forth. And then on Sundays will be the pay-per-views. Or my day off, I haven't decided yet. Either way. Loki holding his hands up. Again, another incredible victory for him. He's on quite a run of form. That's 3 big victories, and to knock off the former Global Force Wrestling champion here, and not just knock him off, but dominate the match. I think Jeff Jarrett's definitely going to have to take notice of this. I think there should be a Junior Heavyweight Championship shot in his very near future. Maybe even next week. So match 3 of the evening is Finn Balor taking on Machine Gun Karl Anderson, and AJ Styles will be at ringside. And here we go with this match. Finn Balor sporting the anti-venom attire this evening, taking on Machine Gun Karl Anderson. So I've not actually seen a lot of Machine Gun Karl Anderson, to tell the truth. In real life, I know obviously he's a big part of the Bullet Club formation, and there's a huge spear. He's also been tag team champion over there with Doc Gallows on quite a few occasions. The only times I've really seen him as when he's come across and done the Ring of Honor pay-per-views. I know he's doing a lot more of them recently, so I'm trying to catch up as much as I can, but by all accounts, he's an absolute fantastic wrestler. And I think this is a pretty good core as well. I think it looks quite like him, from what I've seen. But if you've been watching the previous episodes, you will have seen that we're trying to run a bit of a feud here between AJ Styles and Finn Balor, the current leader of Bullet Club, versus the original leader of Bullet Club. However, because of the way I've set up the universe mode and the pay-per-views, no official feuds start until the last week of this month in Global Force. This is the last brand to be affected. So once those do come into play, hopefully we're going to get some cutscenes between these two. That's why you would have probably seen less cutscenes in this universe mode than what there is in the other ones. As Machine Gun Karl Anderson thrown Finn Balor into the far corner, went to follow up with a clothesline. Balor reverses and hits that Lucha Libre style arm drag. And you've got to think that AJ Styles, and as I'm just about to say it, AJ is up on the apron distracting the referee. I said you've got to think AJ is going to be involved in some way in this match. Referee being distracted, and now give Machine Gun Karl Anderson a chance to take over here and lock in the submission, but he was far too close to the ropes and has to break instantly. But now he's got him up in the fall-away slam, just throwing Finn Balor across the ring. Now where's Machine Gun Karl Anderson on his way to? It looks like he's taken the top off the announce table, and Finn Balor's followed him. Obviously AJ Styles, as the leader of Bullet Club, probably endorsing this by Machine Gun Karl Anderson, and it looks like Anderson's got Balor up. And here he goes, he's got him up. Oh, and just hits. It's almost like it ends in a cutter, but spinning him round and dropping him hard on the announce table. Through he goes. AJ Styles surveying the damage, but Balor's back up and makes his way back to the ring before the 10 count. AJ, as you can see outside the ring, very happy at the amount of damage that Finn has taken, but obviously not happy the fact that Finn managed to get back up and run back into the ring prior. And there's a great capture suplex. Now spinning Balor around. Balor reverses, hits the forearm to the back. And now dropping Anderson in the Saito suplex. And there's just the stamp on the arm. Now an elbow to the back of Anderson. Since going through the table, it seems to have actually spurred Balor on as he hits that spinning kick to the head of Machine Gun Karl Anderson. Could that be all? He could be knocked unconscious from that too. Oh, 2 count. Only about an inch away from the mat from being a 3 count. Finn trying to build upon that with those kicks. Anderson fighting back. Now twisting the arm and again twisting the arm. Anderson having to fall through it. And as I was mentioning in the last match, actually, about the faction feuds, what would be great. At the moment, what I'm trying to do is Bullet Club, obviously against Finn Balor, but Finn Balor has managed to ally himself along with Adrian Neville and Drew Galloway. Obviously, it'd be great to be able to do Bullet Club versus those 3 members, but the game doesn't allow you to do that at this point in time. That was a good example I was trying to find in the last match. Balor being dropped flat on his face there by Anderson. Anderson now just willing Balor to his feet. And hits that huge uppercut. That has got to be all. Anderson pulled into the center of the ring. Anderson pulling Balor into the center of the ring, should I say, and then getting the 3 count. AJ had been banished from ringside from too many interference, should we say, or too many distractions to the referee, along with Balor. Finally thrown from ringside. But his job here was done anyway, as Machine Gun Karl Anderson just tied up the pieces. He'd already put Finn Balor through the announce table. This is the moment where AJ got thrown from ringside, then Anderson just finishing the job. I'm surprised Balor managed to finish off the match after being put through that announce table, but that uppercut was just the icing on the cake. It's been a great night for Bullet Club, regaining the Tag Team Championships. Machine Gun Karl Anderson getting a victory over the very man that AJ Styles has put #1 of their hit list. Great night for Bullet Club. So match 4 is Johnny Mundo versus Hideo Itami. And here we go, Johnny Mundo, Itami. Mundo, who's currently, as this video is being recorded, doing a great job. The top of the card of Lucha Underground. Hideo Itami is, again, one of the top names in NXT, currently out with a really severe injury. Going to be out for a long time, but luckily in our universe mode, he's still in tip-top shape. It's been an interesting match. There's a clash of styles. Johnny Mundo has his parkour style. Very good with the high-flying aspects. Hideo Itami more strikes than anything else, as we've seen so far. And there's Johnny using his agility to get around the back of Itami. And heel kicking him into the corner. Itami fighting his way back out with them strikes. Both these guys haven't really had the most effective starts here in the Global Force Wrestling brand. I put them both in here because I feel I haven't used them enough, really. It's the problem with the Global Force Wrestling roster is that it's such full. It's so full of strong talent. It's difficult to really use them all. As Itami just hits that running knee strike, and that could be all already. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Itami hit that knee strike. Oh, he's got Mundo up. Could this be? It's the GTS, it is. Hideo Itami is going to get a very quick and easy victory here, and it is. Johnny Mundo is down and out. That match must have been less than a minute, surely. Wow. That really was something else. There's the knee strike by Itami. Pulling Mundo into the ring, going for the pin. 1, 2. Only 2 for that. Then picking him straight up. Here we go. Into the GTS. Mundo goes down hard. 1, 2, 3. That is all. Itami very, very happy with that victory. And as he should be, a quick one. And Johnny Mundo showing respect, lifting Hitami's arm. As you can see, Mundo was busted open in that match. That must have been from the knee strike. But I can't think he can blame that on his quick loss here. And here it is. It's main event time. I've been excited for this, so I hope you are. It's Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the Global Force Wrestling champion, Kazuchika Okada. And we are underway. As we saw last week, just recapping, Zack Sabre Jr. made his debut. There was a lot of talk and a lot of excitement about Zack's debut. He came in and he quickly and easily picked up a victory. Then after the match, he was brutally assaulted by Kazuchika Okada. I can only think it was jealousy. Okada, obviously the Global Force Wrestling champion, feels that all of the buzz and all the talk should be around him, but it wasn't. Zack Sabre Jr. had stolen the buzz and the talk away from Okada. This is a chance here for Okada to show that he is the top man in Global Force Wrestling. In fairness, he should be. He has got the gold on his shoulder. However, the ability of Zack Sabre Jr. is world-renowned. As we're seeing more here with that Insuguri, then the springboard crossbody. And now just throwing Okada's arm into the mat. If you're not very aware of Zack Sabre Jr., he's a fantastic British wrestler. He's a very technical style, likes to use an arm breaker as a finishing maneuver as well as a Michinoku driver. He won the match last week with a Michinoku driver. That's why you might see him attempt to try and do damage on the arm early on. Here we go again, just twisting that arm. But it's all working towards that arm breaker. He's always thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead, trying to be ready for what's coming up. Trying to set himself up as well for to finish whenever he can. Okada there with the vertical suplex into the ring on Zack Sabre Jr. and the drop kick to the back of the head. I'm sure Tanahashi will still feel that he deserves a rematch after losing his belt at the Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view against Okada. However, with Tanahashi losing tonight to Loki, that may have dropped him down the rank in some way. Zack Sabre Jr. there with the knees to the arm. Again, like I said, just working that arm down. He's also well known for his strikes and his kicks. And he's very, very fluent in the ring. Here comes the neck breaker from Okada. The Japanese style won't escape Zack Sabre Jr. He does currently do a lot of work in Japan with Pro Wrestling Noah and an arm breaker there. So he'll be very accommodated to the Japanese style of Okada. However, Okada is, of course, one of the best wrestlers in the world and very young as well. Still got a lot of his career ahead of him. Now Okada working on that knee. But Zack Sabre Jr. coming back. A thump to the back of the neck on Okada. Okada's got Jr. up there with that suplex. And now Okada working on the arm of Zack Sabre Jr. and going for the pin. Of course, if Zack's arm is not 100%, then he's not be able to lock as much pressure into the arm break as he'd like to. Northern Light suplex there by Okada, beautifully held in the bridge, only for a 1 count. Oh, great move by Zack here. He catches Okada in that submission hold. Releases, and now again just going back to working on that arm. See, he can just bring a submission from anywhere, can Zack Sabre Jr. And here's a great sort of butterfly reverse suplex. Underhook suplex, maybe? I don't know, I lose track of a lot of name of these moves, but either way it was very well hit. Both guys locking up in the middle. Who's going to come out on top? It's Okada. Who hits a German suplex. Okada rolling Junior over now and then just stamping on the arm. And is he going to go for a tombstone power driver? He is. He hits the tombstone power driver on Zack Sabre Jr. That could be all here. Pulls him into the centre of the ring. Zack looks down and out. This has got to be all too. Only a 2 count. A 2 count. Only a 2 count. Only a 2 count. And there is the Rainmaker clothesline. Now that is all she wrote, people. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated here by Kazuchika Okada, the Global Force Wrestling Champion. Zack still put on a very good account of himself. You can see he was doing damage, working on that arm, but after Okada hit the tombstone power driver, only for a 2 count here, as you'll see, 1, 2, and then just to grab Sabre straight away and lock him into that clothesline for the 3 count. Okada now, he's going to lead the ring. He seems to have changed his mind. Oh, there's no need for this. He's won the match. He's proved the point, and instead he's just trying to work Zack Sabre Jr. down. Well, anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode of Global Force Wrestling here in the WWE 2K15 Universe mode. If you could like and subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. Like I say, it's a very small thing for you guys, but it means absolute world to me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you come back.